Besides stunning ancient Acropolis, Athens offers so much more.
But traveling to Athens can be a bit challenging. As a tour guide, I'll share all the basics you need to know for your visit to Athens.
They include the most important Athenian attractions, food you simply have to taste, when is the best time to visit, where to book a room, how many days to spend, and the best ways to get around the city.
And if you stick till the end, you'll learn my favorite tips and tricks about Athens, Greece.
Most people start with the world-famous Acropolis, a rocky hill with temples, the very symbol of ancient Greece. But your itinerary should also include the heart of everyday ancient Athens from Greek and Roman times, once the greatest and the biggest ancient Greek temple, and an ancient stadium that hosted the first modern Olympic Games. Here are also beautiful old neighborhoods with picturesque cafes, restaurants and souvenir shops mixed with ancient monuments, most famous flea market neighborhood full of life with numerous vendors and shops, and a tiny scenic neighborhood with adorning white houses and a maze of steep and tiny streets. You should also see the most unique presidential guard-changing ceremony in the world, admire 3 beautiful neoclassical buildings known as Athenian Trilogy, and get to the highest point of Athens with the best view of the city. Lovers of ancient Greece should also visit 2 of the best museums, the Acropolis Museum and the National Archaeological Museum.
You should also visit Athenian taverns, simple and charming restaurants serving delicious traditional Greek food.
Taverns spread their tables around squares and streets, and on their menus you'll find typical Greek dishes like dolmades, wine leaves stuffed with herb and rice mix and shaped into little rolls. You should also try the famous moussaka, a layered casserole-style dish made with layers of vegetables and tomatoey beef or lamb mince sauce, topped off with creamy bechamel sauce. With almost every meal you can order tzatziki, the most universal and popular sauce. This refreshing yogurt sauce is mixed with cucumbers, olive oil and fresh herbs. And for dessert, you must try lokumades, donut-like, deep-fried balls soaked in hot honey syrup and sprinkled with cinnamon.
Tasty food, amazing Greek monuments and charming neighborhoods sounds very inviting. But before you start packing, let's check when is the best time to visit Europe's oldest capital.
Most people visit Athens in summer, but Athens is the hottest major city in Europe and July and August are the hottest months. If summer is your only option, be prepared for heat and crowds. In the morning and late afternoons, heat becomes manageable and this is the best time to visit outdoor attractions. During the hottest hours, you can cool down in museums, taverns and on the beaches. On the other hand, the Mediterranean climate brings beautiful weather in spring and autumn. The weather is sunny and pleasantly warm, there is little rain and fewer crowds. In my opinion, this is the best time to visit.
April, May, June, September and October are the best months to visit Athens. But to save cash and to avoid crowds, you should also consider winter.
I was filming Athens in early December, and as you can see from my footage, winter in Athens can be really nice. Sites have shorter hours, but most tourist businesses tend to stay open. Streets remain alive as taverns set up outdoor heaters and shops remain open.
But is one day in Athens really enough? The short answer is sort of.
You can see a big chunk of historical monuments in one long day, as the most important ancient sites are close to each other. But to also visit vibrant neighborhoods, eat in tavernas and see some museums, you will need more than a day. Here are also interesting trips to the outskirts of Athens. In the summer, you should visit the Athenian Riviera with great beaches and resorts stretching all the way to Cape Union with the impressive Poseidon Temple. You could also visit the beautiful Byzantine Daphne Monastery or do a trip to one of Greece's most important archaeological sites with an impressive theater of Epidaurus. A day trip to magical Delphi, home of the Oracle and center of the world for the ancient Greeks, is also a popular option.
When asked how many nights I recommend in Athens, my answer is 2 full days are the minimum, but spending at least 3 days is even better.
Athens is big, but most attractions are its historical city center scattered around the Acropolis. On Booking.com, I would recommend the following 6 neighborhoods: Plaka, Monastiraki, Syntagma, Koukaki, Siri, and Tiseo.
They are clustered around the Acropolis Hill and offer many hotels, Airbnbs, restaurants and attractions. From any of these neighborhoods, you can get to the most main attractions on foot.
Plaka stretches right under the Acropolis. Hillside neighborhood has a village feel with narrow cobblestone streets lined with shops, sidewalk cafes and family-run tavernas. Monastiraki was named after a beautiful square and is one of the main shopping districts with the biggest flea market. Its major archaeological sites include ancient and Roman agora, the heart of everyday life in ancient Athens, and Hadrian's library. Syntagma is famous for its main square with the Greek parliament building and the tomb of the unknown soldier guarded by the presidential guard. Here is also the Marble Olympic Stadium, originating from Greek and Roman times, which hosted the first modern Olympic Games. Koukaki is south of the Acropolis with a local vibe and Acropolis Museum. Big part of the neighborhood are pedestrian zones. Psiri is a small neighborhood right next to Monastiraki, full of street art. It's about 15-minute walk from the Acropolis and a 5-minute walk from the ancient agora. Tiseo is northeast from ancient agora, full of neoclassical buildings, open-air cafes, cozy wine bars and rooftop restaurants with great views of the Acropolis.
Although Acropolis is about 5 miles from the nearest beaches, booking a room on the coast can be a good option as Athens has decent public transport.
The Athens public transport system is affordable, reliable, and covers most of the city and suburbs. It's fairly easy to use as buses, trams, trains, and metro all use the same ticket. Metro is the fastest and the best way of getting around as it runs very frequently. It has 3 lines and number 3 runs straight from the airport to the city center's 2 most important squares, Syntagma and Monastiraki. Just be aware that using a metro to the airport requires a dedicated airport ticket.
But the network of metro stations is very limited, so don't expect to find metro stations at every attraction.
That's why you might want to use buses, as its network is much more extensive. Also, if you need to reach the airport when the metro is not running, a bus is the way to go, as Airport Express Bus runs 24 hours. With the help of Google Maps, you can overcome problems of understanding Greek writing. On the other hand, you will rarely use trams unless you book a room on the coast. Modern tram lines runs along the coast and connects it with the historic city center. Tickets for public transport are sold at ticket booths and machines in all Athens metro and tram stations. Most of the time you'll get a single ticket, as combining walking with occasional public transport is the best way to go. Single ticket is valid for 90 minutes after its first validation. If you book a room further from Acropolis, you might consider the daily ticket, valid for 24 hours since its first validation.
Again, be aware that single tickets and daily tickets are not valid for transport to the airport. For the airport, you must get a dedicated airport ticket. Before I show you my favorite tips and tricks, thanks for smashing thumbs up and for your super thanks support. Let's start with money and time-saving tip.
In Athens, there are summer and winter prices to archaeological sites. When visiting the first archaeological site in summer, don't buy a single ticket, but go for a combined ticket. It gives you access to all main sites, including Acropolis. This ticket saves you a lot of time and money, as you will need to queue at the ticket office just once. In the summer, you will save money already by visiting 3 sites, while in winter, it will take 7 sites.
But on certain days, you don't have to buy tickets at all, as archaeological sites, monuments and museums are for free.
These days are March 6th, April 18th, May 18th, the last weekend in September, October 28th, and the first Sunday of each month between November 1st and March 31st.
Also worth visiting is one of the best photo spots in Athens, Areopagos Rock.
This popular rock offers an amazing view of Acropolis and the city. It's a short distance from the entrance of the Acropolis and rises above the ancient agora. This lovely spot is always open and attracts a lot of people at sunset.
You can get more great views if you take a stroll along the longest pedestrian pathway in Athens.
This is the nicest walk in Athens, as it runs around the southern slope of Acropolis and around the archaeological area of ancient agora. It takes about 40 minutes to do the full circle, but you will probably spend more by taking photos and stopping in numerous tavernas and souvenir shops.
But the very best shopping in Athens is on a pedestrian shopping promenade in Ermou Street.
The most famous shopping street runs from Syntagma Square, where you can see the famous presidential guard, and after about 1 kilometer ends in Monastiraki Square.
Oh, And if you see a sign "Do not throw paper in the toilet," please respect it, as it's a serious request. Throw the paper in the bin, as you don't want to be responsible for the clogged toilet. Hope these tips and tricks will make your trip to Athens much easier. Also, check my favorite Athens tours and tickets in the description below and you'll be ready to go.
To learn more about best things to do in Athens, watch this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.